G'day everybody and welcome back to Germany for the Kreuzungsring reverse. We've been to Waldobstieg, Kreuzungsring, and the final stage here in Germany, of course, Kreuzungsring reverse. My name's Stairs. Tonight I'm joined in the commentary box by Madbird.
Yes, indeed. So we've done it front ways, now we do it back ways. We are here for the last of our 3 stages in Germany. All very exciting, Stairs. There's been some interesting results, some newcomers, which is always good. But let's have a look at the standings as of the end of the second stage.
Yeah, Xeris there with a 12-second lead over Decimage. Pretty good result for him, the young Finn, obviously showing his Sisu, Madbird, in the
It's a forward escort.
There you go. And Mono Man makes up a position on Nether. That's the only change of position from the previous stage. Nether up there in 5th, Bang in 6th, and then the rest.
Absolutely. So we've got a newcomer, much like Securitron for stage 2. We've got Jorgz joining us for stage 3. He's a newcomer in the Ford Escort. So we always get the hot goss from our rally expert Robert. Robert, what have you got for us, mate? What do you think of this? What do you think of Kreuzungsring reverse as a stage?
Oh, it's pretty exciting. It's a good racetrack, but it's like one of those racetracks that doesn't go and loop itself in a circle. It's a rally track, so it's good.
That's the way of it. They don't tend to go in a circle because there's a whole other thing for that called rallycross, but everyone hates it because I don't know why. But anyways,
because I'm a bit of a Oh yeah, no, I like it.
Excellent. So we've got a couple of newcomers, Securitron and Jorgz. How have you seen Securitron's form so far? I know you called him for the win last stage. Didn't end up transpiring, but how do you find his form so far?
Oh yeah, no, I mean it didn't quite come together last time. He was unlucky, but Jorgz, I reckon the result will be the complete opposite of the previous stage because the previous stage was Kreuzungsring and this is Kreuzungsring reverse. So I would expect the standings to be completely reversed from what we saw in Kreuzungsring non-reverse. So
you're expecting Xeris to come last, is what you're saying?
Yes. Oh yeah, no, he's gonna have a shocker. He'll get his dick caught in the gearbox.
That sounds incredibly painful. Well, thank you, Robert.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robert. It was good talk.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. We'll see you next time out in Monaco. It's been
where?
Never mind. Yes, well, it's been a delight talking to Robert as always here in Germany, providing us with his expert information and hot tips. He's really a man unto himself, isn't he?
It may well turn out to be an inspired choice of just really an inspired prediction. To be honest, it may well just turn out to be that way.
It might indeed. So
it also could be completely wrong.
It could. More likely than not.
Such is the nature of predictions.
Such is the nature of predictions and of Robert himself. Let me just reach across here and grab my beer because we're ready here with Jorgz on the start.
We're mentioning that, are we? Yes, Jorgz on the start, representing North Korea. He's been given special dispensation. He'll be wanting to do pretty well, or we may not see him again. But there is the particularly non-North Korean looking navigator there in the passenger seat of Best Korea. Green Escort. It was Escort?
It is an Escort,
yeah.
Yep. It's certainly an interesting livery, that's for sure.
Yes, the number and coloured car. Number and car.
Yes, the ampersand car.
He's done that nicely. He's hung the rear out.
He has.
Yeah.
Coming up to the first sector split, obviously no one to compare it to, but we'll get a bit of an indication for what Jorgz's pace is. Crosses with a 42.4, so again, no idea if that's good or not, but that's certainly a time.
He lays down our first benchmark by which we will judge all other participants in this particular segment. Incredible he's nearly got into that rock there, but he's managed to avoid it actually. It ended up being quite a spectacular piece of driving there that we witnessed. So obviously, driving a car will be new to him. He's showing tremendous self-discipline to not just go and get some apples or something from the trees. Because hunger will be something that he's particularly well acquainted with, being North Korean. But anyway,
it must be said, he doesn't look particularly North Korean, as you mentioned.
Well, that's Navigator. We haven't actually seen it on board of him, have we?
No, I think we just saw a sneak peek of him before as he goes through this hairpin, which We had a lot of issues coming through this hairpin last time out in the forwards ways Kreuzungsring, so...
Being in reverse, we should have exactly no issues.
Exactly. That's how it works.
It is. Yeah, but not having too many issues with this straight section of road here, and very nice. Just flipping the inside there just enough. You might want to sort that out. But Pablo's about to start his stage. Off he goes, and some really nice Scandinavian flicks there for Jorgz.
Absolutely, he's doing quite well. Again, because he hasn't run before, he's the first cab off the rank, regardless. Oh my goodness! Regardless of his pace, so he may end up winning the start. I don't think he will. I mean, he could. Who knows? But he might end up being much faster than his place on the running order implies.
Well, he's going in the right direction, and speaking of direction, that's a directional mic, and if you burp in that direction, it won't hear you. But anyway, Jorgz there. Oh, he knocks out one of those signs, and that's going to slow him down. Didn't quite get the exit onto that part of the road that he would have liked to.
Absolutely. Pablo there going through the first sector. 3.4 seconds down on Jorgz.
He'll be salty about that one.
Incredibly salty.
Yeah, saltier than a North Korean surprise. But there we go, Jorgz across the line with a 2:57.2. That is your first benchmark, so he catapults up to the top of the field, and what can Pablo do about it?
Absolutely. So the Colombian didn't have the best run in the first two stages. He's struggled a little bit for pace and has lost control of his car a few times, but he would be hoping to bring it home good.
Oh, speaking of losing control, there we go. He's got a massive crack in the windscreen. I don't know if we saw that one happen, to be honest, but recovering now, so that's going to be something of a recovery effort from this point on, and a bit of bumper there, just looks like it's hanging off the car down the bottom side there. We've seen a bit of that in recent stages.
We have, around this point, I think, is where Bang in his Celica lost his rear bumper last stage. So
what's he done to deserve an extra decimal point there?
Well, exactly. He's 13.5 sec. Oh, he's going incredibly slow.
That was steady. Does he have a problem?
I don't know. He is carrying some damage. He's carrying some damage from the previous two stages.
Perhaps.
He could possibly have a puncture. We've got Goofball down there.
Goofball's got a lot of smoke coming out the top of his engine bay there, just as he got away. So I don't know what happened there.
I think they're both carrying a bit of damage from the previous stages. Haven't had the.
They don't start new.
Haven't. No, depending if they've done them all at once, then they carry the damage from stage to stage, and of course, if the team doesn't have money to fix them up. Pablo here going through the last sector, 17.63 seconds down, so certainly not setting the world on fire is the Colombian, but we'll probably be setting the drug world alight once he gets home.
No, well, we certainly won't need a global-sized firefighting agency here to fight the Earth being on fire, because as you said, he hasn't set it on fire, but he slots in there. Sorry, that's Goofball slots in there behind Pablo, so Goofball unable to do anything about Pablo in the first sector, but given what we've seen, the issues that Pablo had in that second sector, the chance that Pablo can leapfrog between himself and between Pablo and Jorgz.
Goofball even, as Pablo is coming up towards the end of the stage here. Rather large crack in that side. As he's gone the wrong side there of the warning light, and 22.3 seconds down on Jorgz. So,
goodness me! Oh, he's held that. Well done, Goof. There's a lot of damage on it.
It looks like it has been hit with quite a lot of hail.
Has to be said, he hasn't had a lot of sponsor interest there after his first two rounds, so it hasn't really improved for them. So no wonder they don't have any money to repair the car.
Absolutely. He's coming down towards this hairpin, taking a very tight entry, and it was quicker.
It was quicker than Pablo.
It was an awkward. He took it a little bit awkwardly, but
it was almost like there was a bit of indecision from his navigator about which direction it was. It's a left. No, it's a right. It's a left.
Caution braking lap 3.
As my wife would say. But here we go around this corner. Just a little. He looked like he tipped it into the corner a little bit too early and washed off a lot of speed there. Securitron gets underway for the nation of Scotland.
Absolutely. So, pretty decent debut last time out from Securitron. Still only third best in stage 2. So, still only third from the bottom in.
That's quite different.
As we've got Goofball, as you say, leapfrogging.
Oh, that photographer flinched there.
Jesus,
and wouldn't you?
I would have, got a car coming at you. I didn't, that rock, luckily.
Jesus went to Coles, he got the 2-ply tissues and he wept there because Christ almighty, that was
absolutely. It's Securitron here. Oh my god! He's hung on to it. No, he hasn't. Yes, he has. Yes, no, yes, he has.
That was the mother of all saints.
Never mind. Oh my goodness. After all that, goodness me.
I thought that was a jet out of jail free card. He used 2 or 3 in one corner there, and Blackwood Dry Cleaning would have a lot of extra business there if he lived in Blackwood, which he doesn't. But anyway, goofball 3:10. So we're about to see what he can do. He's obviously already down on Jorgz' time and slots in just ahead of Pablo by about 4 seconds.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, it probably would have lost quite a bit of time there in that last sector. So might not really be representative.
Securitron's looking good despite what we may have said about him in the past. I reckon he's on for the top position of the runners we've seen so far.
Absolutely. So hedging your bets to the extreme, but regardless, he is looking good. He's hanging it out through the corners, which is what you want to do. And that Subaru, I must say, it is currently impressing me much.
Well, yes, he's certainly hedging his bets pretty well. He's putting away money in his Mojo account. But here we go, bang bang, about to start in what is the lone Celica in this field here. Securitron another 5 seconds ahead of Jorgz in this particular sector there. Or cumulatively, I should say, not in that sector itself.
Yeah, a bit surprised by the lack of interest in the Celica. It's a good car.
It's a mod, I think that's the reason.
Yeah, people can't be bothered to. But I mean, it looks so much nicer than these pieces of shit. Oh my goodness!
Speaking of pieces of shit, he's just backed it into a tree there, and that's secure. He's not going to have lost a lot of time, but that will have lost a lot of time. Straight into a telephone pole, so doing his bit to reduce communication efforts in Germany. So. Bang is about to go through his first sector split, and there he goes, about 3 seconds down on our current leader, which is Securitron. So this is all pretty tight. There's, just seconds in it.
Absolutely, it's good to see Securitron.
Oh my goodness gracious me! That last crash, it nearly cost him, it did cost him time, but it didn't cost him the position. He's stuck on Jorgz by 98% of 1 second.
Absolutely, what well said. As we got Bang in the Fidanza.
He's got a vibration there.
He does.
Probably the engine.
Doesn't look like it's handling particularly well, but at least they've managed to replace all of the bodywork that fell off last stage.
Yeah, they meticulously went through the stage and found all of the bits, put them back onto the car, and Bang was ready to go. You know what he said to me, Bang?
What did he say to you?
Oh, shit, I can't remember.
Anyways,
I said I'm raring to go.
Fantastic.
He said I'm raring to go, and here he is, raring to go out of that hairpin. Entry was bit lacking, but
Absolutely.
The exit was fantastic.
I hear that the team had to beat the living shit out of they had to beat the snot out of a German attendee who never mind.
That's a very wide.
He's gone very wide.
They're speaking of leaving.
They can't have attached those.
All right, they want to put a note there on this particular part of the stage. He was about 2 minutes in. There is a bumper. You've left your front bumper on the racetrack. Bang bang. I beg your pardon, not racetrack, rally track. And they'll be wanting to get that because, goodness gracious, that's the week that looks a bit rough.
There's a lot of radiator you can see. It looks like they didn't repair the body particularly well. Maybe just
may aid his cooling.
Oh, here we go.
We're going to catch a replay. Oh, straight into that big concrete bollard there, and that explains why he's lost his bonnet. But when one door closes, another opens. His cooling will not be an issue.
Absolutely not. But maybe it would be advisable for him next time to put the bodywork back on with something other than blue tack. We've got Nether coming up to the first. Jesus!
Doors open.
Looks like that was
Anyone get in?
A 15-second penalty. Must have gone into the crowd somewhat. Nether managing second in the first sector.
Oh dearie me! He's distracted now. Look at the front. It's got a cancerous bulge on the right-hand side there.
Not generally what you want from your bonnet.
I think he might have some more damage than what we can see there, but it's a lot of damage. That's an awful lot of damage there. Nether looks like it's a bit darker here. Just clouds have come over here. Those shadows just becoming a little bit more of an issue.
Yeah, it looks like the clouds have come across the sun slightly. Definitely not that the runner accidentally put it as afternoon instead of midday, but anyways, it looks like he's doing quite well. He's up on Securitron in the second sector by best part of 1.5 seconds, so definitely nothing to sneeze at. Beautiful.
He hung the tail out there. That's what the fans there love to see, and you can see them celebrating by not moving much in front of that Alpine Stars sign. But
I mean, that's how the Germans celebrate, Alistair. I believe they just polite silence.
They get on with it, you know. Dankeschön, bitteschön, Dankeschön, bitteschön. It's all about that, you know. That's how they rebuild.
I know what you're meaning. Yeah,
you certainly don't. But anyway, we're coming into. It really is a bit dark, isn't it?
Quite.
It is a bit dark.
Dark, like
that was good.
That was.
Yeah,
I mean, that
I'll
wasn't
cut you
fast.
off before you make a racist joke there. But now that he is approaching the third sector split as Madbird begins his stage, and that's very close to the top there. Nether does go top, despite having. Well, I mean, he's been quick, but it hasn't been completely clean.
No.
But nonetheless, he's.
We do know Securitron. Sorry, to cut across you.
6 tenths up.
We do know that Securitron lost a lot of time coming through this section where he hung the, as we've got a replay here of, looks like Madbird getting very tail happy out on the grass.
Very tail happy indeed. Oh my goodness, and he's gone into that big boulder there. Be interesting to see whether he's acquired a puncture on the right rear of that car.
Absolutely. We'll get to see if he's lost much time out of it, whether he's coming up to the first sector split, and he's not going to get second, he's not going to get third. He is sliding into fourth, 2 seconds down on the top side.
Man, he's threading needles here because there's not a lot of time between Jorgz and Bang, but he's found his way in between. Only 3 tenths of a second behind Jorgz. As Nether goes to the top there, he's found, I wouldn't say he's found time in that final sector because Securitron lost it. But Nether goes to the top, and that'll be a pretty solid effort for Nether there. Yeah,
absolutely. The Dutchman would have grown up on roads similar to these, since I believe the Germans
when they went underwater.
I believe the Germans had some say over how infrastructure in the Netherlands was maintained for a few years.
Has to be said, Madbird's a little bit taller than his Navigator.
Yeah. 2.85 seconds, Madbird is down in the second sector.
Yeah, he is. And not as much, not as many theatrics through that corner as we've seen from some of the others. They like to do the old, I'm looking forward to D-Smash going through that corner because my goodness does he love a handbrake turn, but none of that from Madbird. He's just trying to keep it clean, and that is beautiful. Well, apart from the exit. But anyway, from that static camera, we couldn't see he was going wide. It looked pretty damn good from that perspective.
Must be said, his car is looking much more intact than several of our other runners, which, as I say that...
You're giving him the curse right there.
No longer has a rear right brake light, but he's managed to climb his way back up into third, 2.9 seconds down on Nether at this stage, so... if he has a decent last stage, he might leapfrog Securitron, considering this problem Securitron did have. We've got Stairs as well, our local man starting off. Had a very good result last time out with fourth. Very clean run from Stairs, so intrigued to see how he does on the reverse of that run.
Yes, well, hopefully he reverses his result. Actually, no, he had a good result the previous time, so hopefully he doesn't reverse that.
Brilliant.
From his perspective, but we're about to see the first sector split. That's all very tight, isn't it? Oh my goodness!
Incredible.
Slots himself in between Nether and Jorgz. There's a lot of consistency coming into these stages with the...
Madbird's Navigator's got the head wobble on a little bit.
Yeah, it's probably because of subcontinental heritage. But anyway, Stairs coming through into the forested section of the... that's a very good stage. I'm sorry.
Madbird. Half a second down on Nether just to squeeze that in before you can, kill our video off of YouTube with racism strikes.
No, you only get demonetized if you shit on YouTube. If you dump on YouTube. Oh yes, 251. Stairs gets in there. This won't be monetized.
Goodness me, no. It's got 90s music in it anyway, so we can't do.
Well, you could take that out.
Well, yeah, but it's 90s cars, and we'll talk about this afterwards. The Stairs goes not perfectly through.
Shit. I don't remember that.
Doesn't take the hairpin particularly well.
No, it has to be said that's the worst we've seen through there, and we've seen some bad ones. But nonetheless, he plugs on. But he's going to have lost a lot of time. He was up there in that fight, and he was clean in that first sector, but. He's got it all to do now, so it's not looking particularly good for Stairs.
Absolutely. So he's going to want to nail his last 2 sectors. He's going to want to pull something out of the hat, as it were. Mono Man starting.
Speaking of racism, here is Mono Man. Mono Man, not himself, just the country's history of the country that he's representing. I'm going to stop.
Isn't apartheid funny?
No,
so Mono's been on the rise over the last couple of stages. Started off with a
just
fourth.
Like black rights since the 90s.
Started off with a fourth in the first stage, managed to climb his way back up into third, and he'd be looking at leapfrogging the newcomer Zimaj and stamping his authority on back on the second place, which he's owned previously. 3/10 down on Securitron in the first sector.
And Securitron nailed that
Why
first
would
sector.
you do this?
Yeah, just dipping a wheel into the ditch there with stairs on the exit of the previous corner, but he's come across the line now, and oh goodness, wasn't that costly? That mistake cost him probably 2 or 3 spots there, so unlucky for him.
Absolutely, it's all very exciting when it's tight at the top, but it does mean that one little mistake can cause you to lose several positions. So very, very unfortunate there for the German, but Mono here, from a country with considerable German heritage and traditions, managing to take out...
Dutch.
What?
Dutch heritage.
No, well, they've got... but wasn't the Afrikaners quite fond of Hitler?
Oh, it's a shame for them.
Anyway, Mono managing to go first in the second sector, so quite tight at the top. As I was saying, I'm losing my train of thought.
What sort of animal would you say it was tight like?
Tight like a leopard.
Going for it anyway. Mono is getting ever closer to doing something else that we may exclaim about, and that may well be the third sector's time. Sector time, I should say, not sector time. It's not a word. Decimage, he's one I've been looking forward to because he likes to hang the tail out. He got that Finnish sisu, Mad Bird.
He's got one hand on his dick, the other on the handbrake, so he's going to be all over the shop in his identical car to Mono's, which certainly doesn't cause any problems whatsoever with editing.
One hand on his what?
A dick. And one on his
That was
handbrake.
a chance for you to redeem yourself, and you failed.
I do apologise. But we've got Mono coming up to the end of this stage, so expecting a good time he would. Look at those brakes, glowing red, red like the fires of hell.
Yes, which is exactly where a lot of people from the government of his country in the previous decades are going to. But anyway, Nether,
Jesus.
Nether is still at the top. And what can Mono do? He goes to the top 5 seconds. That's incredible. But holy goodness gracious me, Decimage, what has he done there? He's surpassed Securitron's time, not by a small amount, but by a whopping 10 seconds. He has absolutely excreted on everyone else in that first second.
I believe that was a 10th of a second, not 10 seconds.
Looked like 10 seconds to me.
Sorry, that's an unfortunate mistake to make as he's flinging himself through these corners. He's all over the show. Is Decimage, which is why we love him. Stairs. He's an exciting.
Oh my
driver.
goodness!
Oh my goodness!
Jeez, he'd be good with a hacksaw because he's absolutely sawing away at that wheel. I don't make mistakes. I make prophecies that immediately turn out to be wrong. But yes, indeed, in the second sector there, he's only a second up, so that would make the assumption that you're probably right.
The crowd are loving that. They're all standing there with their hands in the air stationary as he flings himself.
They're listening
through
to our call as we
with what can only be described as bemusement
and abject terror.
Oh,
he's spun it out. I reckon he's still got it in hand. I reckon he'll still be up on the second sector.
It was a bloody good time, and he didn't lose too much time. He didn't hit any rocks or anything.
No.
Flings himself through that one.
Oh my goodness.
He truly is a proponent of rally being sideways, as we got Xeris at the foregone conclusion, we call him, starting off in his Lancia. Decimage losing 2 3/10 seconds, basically.
He'll get it back.
He will probably get it back, but who knows, maybe not. There goes
two
the
people in
helicopter.
second place there. That's interesting, even though they have different times. But one rock I wouldn't want to hit is Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No, absolutely not. He especially while he's cooking your dinner, because, I mean, that's just rude. As he's flinging himself through this forested section that so many runners have had trouble with.
Oh, speaking of trouble, that's going to cost him positions here. He may not be on for a win anymore. He may well lose more than one position out of that mistake, but he did. Oh, goodness gracious, he's driving erratically.
He is. He's not. Some people, when they make a mistake, they go, all right, I'll just keep my head down, calm down, and get this done. But He seems to go the opposite direction. Still manages second.
Well, my prophecy of losing more than one position was incorrect, so despite that, he lives by the sword and he dies by the sword. He's still slotted into second place there, so good grief. That was, that was a time that he earned with that aggression, but it also made him come undone. Incidentally, Xerus, speaking of cars with no sponsors, we weren't speaking about that in the immediate past, we were speaking about it about 10 minutes ago, but he doesn't seem to have acquired any.
No, so perhaps it's a stylistic thing. Maybe he is like, we see Zombie there has started playing Warhammer Vermintide too. Thanks, Zombie.
He's a purist, Xerus.
He is.
Foregone conclusion.
Quite like it's condoms and cigarettes. It's all vulgar, Stairs, as statesman Lord Hesketh once said regarding Formula One.
Yes, but I'm afraid the time to enter a entry into the 1976 Formula One Championship has elapsed, and we haven't attracted
by approximately 42 years.
It's goodness. If you're right. So Xerus there, well, we're waiting on his third sector split. Is he going to slot in ahead of Mono?
Easily.
Foregone conclusion by name, foregone conclusion by nature.
3.5 up on Mono, so that is, he doesn't drive spectacularly. It's not, my voice broke a little bit. He doesn't drive spectacularly. He's not all over the place. He's just very clean, holds pace through all the corners. It's disgusting to look at, Stairs.
But knowing Xerus, he'll be hypercritical of this entire stage, and he'll be dirty on himself for not breaking that 2-minute barrier in the final and the previous sector split there. So even though he's quite comfortably in control of this stage, he probably won't be fully happy with his drive, and that's the difference.
Absolutely, he is a perfectionist as he crosses the line.
And well, there you go. He's got the win there, ahead of Mono Man. Mono Man bouncing back. Decimage there with third place, so consolidates quite well despite a messy run there. Nether in fourth place there. More solid performances from the Dutchman. Madbird there in fifth, only just behind Nether. Securitron in sixth, so the rapid improvement for Securitron and Jorgz with pretty solid effort there in seventh. Goofball there a little bit further back there, finishes just ahead of Bang Bang. And Pablo bringing up the rear there in 11th. Let's have a look at how that changes our final standings.
The classification after stage 3 here, Kreuzungsring in reverse.
The cumulative times there, 9 minutes and 8 seconds there for Xerus. So good, comfortable lead in the end there of 21 seconds over Decimage. So pretty good return to Dirt Rally for Decimage.
Absolutely. Mono managing to leapfrog Madbird by a good 5 and a bit seconds up into third place. So Mono will be happy with that. Back onto the podium for the event. As we've got Madbird sliding back down into fourth. Nether with fifth. Decent result for him, only a few seconds down on Madbird. And look how close it is between Bang Bang and Stairs.
It's the closest finishing classification on the board there. What we're seeing there, Stairs
0.13 of a second.
He'll be dirty on himself for that final sector. So only just the final sector of 3 stages, and he misses out by barely over a tenth of a second. So and about daylight behind him.
We've got Goofball a distant 8th, Pablo about a minute behind him, and our newcomers obviously not expecting to end near the pointy end, missing the first and second stages respectively. But nevertheless, good results for both of them, so I look forward to good things from Securitron and Jorgz in the future.
Indeed. Dirt Rally will continue in the next stage. We're coming to you from Monaco, Madbird.
Absolutely. Ice, snow, sliding.
Always going to be different.
And cliffs.
Yeah. But more modern cars. We're coming to you in the
2007
cars, so that'll be fantastic. Can't wait for that one. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to be notified of when those come along. And we've also got the F1 2017 season that continues from Kota very shortly.
Absolutely. So it's from the last time here in Germany. I'm Madbird.
And I'm Stairs. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Bye for now.
Yes, see you.